Maybe that'll go live here in a second. Oh, it's live. Hi. I didn't see you there. It's this YouTube notification that randomly pops up. Oh. Let me open up a window so that, or give you some light. So, what am I working on, you ask? There we go. I'm working on a schematic. Hello, Foxy Rail fan. I'm trying to draw up a new schematic diagram for a layout that I want to build in here in this room. Let me close my pen because I've got an idea. I've got a plan. This is based off of the many shelf layouts that I've seen. I want to build a layout that goes around the room, not above the ceiling or the door frames or whatever. I don't want to do all that. I want one at, let's see, I'm 5'8". We determined that it would be up to about right there. It'd be about that tall. A little over 4 feet tall. It's obviously shorter than I am. And I'm pretty short. Anyways, it's based off the many shelf layouts that I've seen. And I thought, well, why not build one for myself? I'm not progressing at all on that layout so far. I'm just like, it's falling behind. It's not working. It's not, like it's working, it's just not what I want. It's not what I feel. Like, I don't feel that that's a good enough layout to use. Like, it's a good solid table and stuff. It's just like I don't know if I want to use that or not. I can use it to build a switching layout or something like that. But I want something in here. Something that will actually run. That I can run long trains on. That's the thing. You run intermodals out there, you can maybe do maybe 10 cars with 2 or 3 locomotives. You can do 10 intermodal cars. 1 locomotive, you get, 15 intermodal cars. In here, you would be able to do so much more. So much more. I mean, you could run 40, 50 car trains in here with 2 or 3 locomotives. Maybe even 4, depending on the car size. That's the thing. Depending on the car size, you can run really long trains. Like, if you get 2-bay hoppers, you could probably run a 60-car train of 2-bay hoppers with 2 or 3 locomotives, all in this room. All in this tiny room, which I call it, this tiny little nook, which I call a room. It is insane how different it is from the garage. That's the thing, depending on how the big the layout is. But the layout's going to be pretty big because this is a 13 by 12 room. I know you're thinking, what? No, it's not big enough to run 60, 70 car trains. Yes, it is, with my plan. You're thinking, how are you going to build around the bed? How are you going to build around your desk? How are you going to build around all this stuff? You use everything to an advantage. This right here, this headboard, that's my starting point. That's where I got the idea. That's perfect. That's a perfect height. And the chat is being awkward. It's the perfect height. It's above my bed. It's right here. It's the perfect height. It's about a little over 4 foot, maybe 4'2" off the ground. And let me grab a drink. It's the perfect height. And it's a starting point. It's a starting point. You can put a station. Envision that. Envision. I don't know if you can see it even. You can put a station right here. I've got a shelf right here. You can't see it. Let me see if I can get. Come on. See this shelf right here? You take all this crap off. You put it somewhere else and put that Xbox up there. You can do whatever you want with it. and then you run your trains right here on the shelf. You use stuff to your advantage. You put a station up there, some track, you run it all the way around the room. Use stuff to the advantage. Use stuff to your advantage. You use stuff to, and you incorporate it into your layout. So like if I want to use that bookshelf over there, that big one, where is it at? Right there. If I want to use that, I could use that. It's just like, use it as a tunnel. Pretty cool idea. You can just clear off the locomotives because they'll constantly be on the layout. You can get, in this little nook over here, my room is designed really weirdly. Let me see if I can get this thing off of my charger. Come on, there we go. I haven't even drawn anything yet. My little room here is designed very awkwardly in that it has some weird nooks, but that nook right there would be perfect. Bam! Put a yard. Put a yard in the sense that you still have room to get out of bed on this side, which I rarely ever do, get out of bed on this side. You put a yard over here where you can put a few tracks. You put a scrapyard here or wherever you want. Over there, you can put a small yard. You can put your station there, some track. Use this as a tunnel, which is what I was saying. It's already got lighting if I wanted lighting. Or like a facility of some sort. It's already got lighting. You could use it as one of those cars that they fill up those refrigerator cars. Make it a facility for that. Make it a grain facility. Whatever you want to do. An unloading facility for scrap. If you took this off. A scrap unloading facility, which I may not even use this and incorporate it because it's got books and crap on it. So it's just like, do I want to incorporate it or do I not? I'm probably not, but it's an if. Like, if I want to incorporate it, I can. I've got ideas for it. But yeah, over here as well. There's weird, like it's designed so weirdly, like I don't know what they were thinking when they designed this room, but you're thinking, okay, you've got two doors, closet, the outside world to the rest of the house, the closet. Now, like, you're thinking, okay, how are you gonna do it? Swing outs, or swing downs, or whatever you want to call them. Here would just be a standard swing down piece that just swings down. Here, because I got a compromise for my mother, who is killing me on this operation, who's just like, well, I don't want you to ruin the house because we're only going to live here for 3 or 4 more years. You know, blah, 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 so on and so forth. You attach it with some Velcro or something like that that'll hold it up. Put a hinge here or somewhere. You put a hinge when you open the door. That part of the track opens with it. Pretty cool, right? So that you don't ever have to, like, you just have to be careful if there's trains running. You just gotta listen for a second, and then you can open the door, or you just slowly open the door. Which you'll probably know when I'm running trains anyways. She will. But yeah, that's my idea, and I think I've got it. You could run large trains, you can run small trains. I can run Amtrak. I can run so much more than what I can right now on my 4x8. Now, just saying that 4x8 is probably not going to go away. That's not what I'm doing, is trying to throw the 4x8 away. 4x8 will be incorporated somehow. Probably make it a switching layout, or I don't know, it could be a switching layout, it could be a small little layout that just goes with like modules, like maybe a module layout that I take to train shows when I start going to train shows, if I ever start going to train shows. You know, so on and so forth. That's what I told him. That's what I told my mom. I said, the only thing is, you're just going to have to be careful, because, like, if there's trains running, you'll be able to hear them, of course, because they're DCC and sound locomotives, so you'll be able to hear them. And because of how thin this door is, You can hear everything. They can hear me yelling right now, probably. So you can probably you'll most likely be able to hear them. That and me just going, just like, oh yeah, that's so cool. But everything is gonna be like, there's gonna be operating railroad crossings, operating signals. It's gonna have everything that your normal layout would have, just incorporated into a shelf. You have yards, you have curves, you have everything that you want. You can have a scrapyard, you have industries, you have whatever you want. Now, just saying right now, it's going to be loosely is the key word here, loosely based on Gainesville. So it's not going to have everything that Gainesville has. Like, I'm going to incorporate the scrapyard, and I'm going to incorporate the station, and I'm going to incorporate the yard, of course, but it's like, it's not going to have every single thing that Gainesville has. I don't know about mountains, because we don't have mountains. There's no mountains near Gainesville, but hey, that's a good idea, actually. Depending, yeah, I could have mountains. That wouldn't be a bad idea, actually. Put little mountains in the background. Make it like Canada. Although I'm not running Canadian Pacific, but I'll probably end up buying Canadian Pacific stuff eventually. But it's like, I've got to, it's gonna be cool. Like, you gotta think about it. How cool would that be to be able to run so many trains? Well, not so many, but you just run one train on the main line, which is going to only have one main line. I don't want 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 main lines. I want to have one main line. It would be cool to have 2 main lines with trains running next to each other, but I don't know if I have the room for that, honestly. I don't know if I have the room. If I end up having enough room to run that, then maybe. But another thing, I can make wider turns with this, and it's not just going to be going in an oval like you would have on a 4x8. It's not going to be like an oval in a yard. It's going to be a weird shape and a yard or 2 or 3, depending on how much I can fit in. Like this shelf up here, you put the track all the way at the back, and you are pretty much golden for 2 more tracks, 3 more tracks rather, 3 more tracks, and you've got a little yard here, and just it's so cool. Like, I keep thinking about it at night, and I'm just like, this is gonna be the coolest thing ever if I get to build it. And I think I'm gonna get to build it as soon as I draw the schematic up for my mother, because she's like, well, show me an idea and maybe we can make it happen. And so I gotta come up with a good plan to do it, but I think it's gonna look cool. And it may not be as scenic and as detailed as what most layouts have, like 4x8s and the huge 24x24s and all these huge layouts that people have. It's not gonna be the most scenic, but it's not gonna be the most scenic thing ever, but it will have scenery. It's not just gonna be this plain boring, everything looks the same. It's gonna be scenic. You gotta have trees and backdrops and, sorry if I'm not reading the chat. I'm just rambling on about random stuff. But you gotta have, trees and tracks, or trees and backdrops, and, you're gonna have, additional stuff, So, let me get another drink. My throat is, what is this on my... I don't have an alarm set. I thought I had an alarm. It kept saying I had an alarm set. These 2 things screwed up. And, later on in life, when I have my own house and all that good stuff, you can easily, you can take that 4x8, you can put this layout that I probably will be building, put that layout up, and then all of a sudden, you just put in the 4x8 somewhere, and you've got a huge layout that goes around the room. That's my thing. I want something that goes around the room, something that's cool, something that people like, something that I can run in my room, something that's just awesome. Like, something when people walk in who aren't really into trains, they're just like, whoa, you know? And I've got a few friends so far that are into model railroading and own quite a few models. TBB's trains. He's got model railroading stuff. I know a few friends out here that own some model railroading stuff, so when they come over, and if we run stuff, we can run it in here, and we can run long trains. Like, for the first time ever, I can run long trains. Like, just sit here and imagine, like, how long of trains we will actually be able to run. And here's where I got the actual idea from. This was when I went to the train meet. That one Saturday, the 13th of July, I believe it was, my uncle took me to the train meet. That's where the video, the 1 hour long video that I made. That one, that's where that came from, because it was an all-day train meet. So, but my hair is insane. Maybe that's better. But the guy who owns the house, turned my PC completely off. Let's do the lights. Yeah, and imagine that you're sitting here at the PC typing away. Oh, I thought somebody was moving. You're here sitting at the PC typing away something up for school. You know, sitting here typing something up, and you're just like, hey. I want to run some trains. So all you gotta do, grab your power cab, plug it in, turn it on, crank your train up, and get the train moving around the room. And I think that would just be freaking awesome. But the guy who owns the house, the railroad tracks are literally right behind his house. This was in Gainesville, so it's right behind his house, and he has this freaking awesome, like, 1920s, 1930s-ish Victorian-style house. It's freaking awesome. He's got a G-scale layout outside and an HO scale. I know my OneDrive is full. I will figure out what to do about it when I get to it. But he has a really cool HO scale layout that again goes around the room. So here's his layout. Come on, let's see. There it is. That's part of his layout. That's part of his staging yard. You got lots of Santa Fe GP units, lots of freight cars, and right there, this is how wide it is. It's a shelf layout, but it's got legs. There's one of the GP units. That's where I got the idea from. There's the edge there, and there's the edge there. It's maybe at most 2.5 feet wide, and it goes all the way around the room. I tried to get some action shots with my phone, but it wasn't working. Like, it wasn't focusing. Like, there's down on the layout. That's what it looks like. But, what is that? It's that same stupid little thingy that goes by. Go-kart. But there's the Amtrak that he has, the big game train. I tried to get some action shots, but it wouldn't let me. But, the edge is just off screen here. But, like, there's the edge, there's the wall. The edge is just off screen. I wish I would have gotten a better overhead picture of it, but, like, he's got 2 main lines, he's got a big staging yard. It is not that wide. And so that's where I got the initial idea of doing a shelf layout. That's his G-scale layout. That's a photo of the photo I took so I could send it to my family. I was just like, take a look at this. Here's the video. Here's the video. Here's a video of it. Hold on, let me see if I'm not going to up the quality because it won't let me. Don't do that. There we go. Here's the video he's got. It's all DC, so there's no DC sound, but it's still a really cool layout. See, like, look at this. He's actually got several tracks. That is really cool. That's where I got the idea from. That's where I got the idea from. Like, would that not be cool to have that big of a layout? And look, he's got overpasses, underpasses, and look! Oh no! What'd you do? What'd you do? What'd you do there? What'd you do? Okay. What'd you do there? What'd you do? Let's go a few seconds back. Right there. See? At some parts, it's not even that wide. Like, and see, he's got it going all the way around the room. Got shelves. Like, just imagine that. Something derailed and I had to film it, but it didn't. It went back on because of this re-railer, and I was like, ah! Right at the moment it derails, it goes right back on. But he's running 2-bay hoppers with a caboose, and it's just like, seriously, it's so cool. Like, look at how many tracks he's got. Look at all this stuff he has. Now his room is the room that he has it in is a little bit bigger, but oh my God, is it awesome! Like, there's his CN. It's all DC, but it's like some older stuff and then some newer stuff as well. There's the Amtrak. And then coming around the corner here is a freight train. There he is. Dash 9. An old Athearn RTR Dash 9. And then all these 2-bay hoppers. It's a lot of 2-bay hoppers. And then the caboose. And it's not going that fast, and that's the end of the video, but that's where I got the initial idea of a layout, a shelf layout. That's where I got the initial idea. Plug my phone back in. That's where I got the initial idea, and I thought this is going to be great. If I can pull this off, you know how cool that's going to be? Like, you know, have people come over and run and have operating sessions. Now, it's not going to be, like, super duper detailed, but it's going to have signals and crossings that work, and, like, because my friend TBB Trains, he knows how to wire up signals, and I don't, so I might, when I build this, I might have him come over and help me wire up some signals. I know how to wire up the crossings, but I don't know how to wire up the signals. He's got a way that he runs them off of switches. And I think that would be cool. Instead of having it the sensor thing made by Logic Railtech or whatever the company is, they make these sensors. Okay, the movie just slammed under my door there. That's interesting. I'm guessing that I had to slide one out. Hold on. Got a return system. Give me a second. There we go. Return system. So, anyways, I thought that would just be an amazing thing if I can pull this off. And I think I can. With a little bit of work, I can pull it off. Now, like I was saying, he's got his signals wired up to 3 individual switches instead of sensors. The sensors work, though, differently, and it's supposed to be a more realistic system. But the thing is, it's not very realistic because your train is like, okay, so it's set up where the sensors, so after, like, okay, your signal would be green the entire time until the train crosses over the sensor. And when the train crosses over the sensor, boom, your signal drops to red. A few seconds after it passes off, changes to yellow, then green again a few seconds after yellow. It's not the most realistic. Now, he has his set up to where it's dispatch controlled. It's individual switches that allows him to turn it to keep it on red, or to keep it on yellow, or to keep it on green, or just completely off. It is a really neat system. I'm going to have him wire up mine when it comes time to wire them out. Now, I know the crossings are not going to be activated by the dispatcher. Those are going to be completely automatic. And the way it works is there's 2 sensors. You can get infrared sensors. They're like $50 per set of crossing. And right now I've got 2 sets of crossings. It's probably going to be, there's only a few crossings. But some of them, not all of them, will have like your standard. Like some of the out of town crossings is what I'm gonna call them, are just gonna have like individual signs instead of like complete crossbucks. Yeah, I think that I'll be the first person. That, actually, if you go back and look at my old layout was actually in my room too. The thing is, this room is smaller. I can't fit a 4x8 in here. You won't fit a 4x8 or really any bigger chunk of layout in here. It has to be around the outside of the room. But, yeah. It's like, I'm like one of the only people that's gonna have a layout in their room. Somebody walks in, what in the world is this? It's a layout, and run little trains on it. Anyways, but the crossings work such that you wire it up to your crossing system, and there's sensors, and you place those sensors between the ties, set a certain distance apart, and then when they cross over, when the train does that, boom, there we go, immediately turns on once it crosses over the sensor. So then the crossings go down. If you have sound for it, sound comes on, which you can get sound stuff, and I'm going to do that. That's going to be one of the things that I'm going to do, is put the bell sounds. I might even just personally record bell sounds and just put like a decoder, or wire up a decoder or sound decoder or something like that. Some like activated something that activates like with the correct bell sound for the crossing, or so and so, whatever. But it's gonna be kind of cool. But it's individual things, and when it crosses over one sensor, the crossings turn on, the gates come down, lights start flashing, sound comes on if you have sound hooked up. And so it controls everything from a little light board. And then the other sensor, which is to the other side of the crossing, as soon as the train crosses off of that one, so once it's off, then you have, then it turns your crossings up, they go back up, the lights stop flashing and all that. So that's the way that I'm going to do my crossings, but the signals are going to be individually dispatcher controlled, I guess you call them. Yeah. That's gonna be any of my friends. Period. They're just gonna be like, what's the purpose of having trains in your room? To run them when I'm in bed, or when I don't feel like getting up. All I have to do, it's an NCE power cab. All I have to do is plug it in. Now I know that they make the Pro Cab, which I believe the Pro Cab is actually wireless, and like you somehow like it's a sensor or something. And I know they also make that Proto Throttle. I love those Proto Throttles, but I cannot afford one. They are so darn expensive. I want one, but they're only for EMD locomotives anyways. It's an EMD style throttle layout, or not throttle layout, but you know what I mean, the EMD control stand. Like, it has everything. Look, it's an EMD control stand in an HO scale version, but I know the Pro Cabs are wireless, but I like the Power Cab just because it's simplicity. I know the Pro Cab's the same thing, but it's wireless. But I like the Power Cab because it's the same thing, but the Pro Cab is wireless, the Power Cab is not. But maybe sometime in the future I'll get myself a Pro Cab and be able to rock anywhere I want, just by and then turn on my trains anywhere I am. Like, walk out of the room. Go to the kitchen, get a drink, go to the bathroom, start the train so I can start them moving. I don't know what the range on it, but, you pull up in the driveway, turn the trains on. That'd be cool. And walk in and just the trains are running around the room. Oh, no, you couldn't do that. You couldn't do that. You'd have to be careful if you did that. Because then it can end up going, somewhere over there by the door, and you just walk in, all the trains fall off, but I think it's going to be really cool. Once I actually get it built, if I do actually happen to do it, which I'm pretty sure I'll be able to do it, I think it'd be cool. Just imagine that. It's going to be so cool. Dispatch-controlled, not crossings, signals. The crossings are going to be actual like controlled by a computer board thingy and sensors, but it's gonna be pretty dang cool once I'm all finished with it. And then like it's gonna have scenery, and it's gonna have buildings, it's gonna have industries, it's gonna have houses, and it's gonna have cars and all the stuff, and it's gonna have a yard where I can store freight cars and locomotives. That's the thing. Once I build this, if I do, again, probably will. See this here? Right there. See that shelf? That's gonna be gone. Because the locomotives won't be on that shelf anymore. They'll be on the layout, including my steam locomotives. They will be on the layout. They will be stored on the layout and not on the shelf. That's my thing. That's my other thing, is that, like, I can actually get them on the layout and keep them on the layout so that, like, I don't ever have to worry about, I don't have to worry about taking them to and from the layout. And that means that I can weather them with powders without having to seal them. That's another thing I like, is because, well, of course you want to seal them sometimes, but sometimes, like, it's such a good coat that you're like, I don't think I need it to be sealed, because it's like the proper. Yeah, all those are HO scale. I don't know if you can even see them. Let's go over there, shall we? Come on, there we go. Where's my light? Light on. I know it looks weird on the camera, but in real life it looks okay. Athearn Genesis GP39-2, custom weathered by me, Santa Fe. I need to put a patch on there, and I don't know, I know 3612 is no longer in service. 3612 was donated to a short line and repainted, I believe, but it'd be cool to get a patch on there, BNSF patch. This has gotta be completed, weathered, and patched. Maybe patched, maybe not. Santa Fe B40-AW, which is an Atlas, and it's currently in the works being faded and getting treated and all that. This is a Kato, or Kato, however you want to say it. I say Kato. I'm from Texas. We pronounce everything weirdly. C44-9W, which has got its complete weathering done. Everything except for a little bit of dirt. It's got grime. It's got fading. It's everything. I know the prototype 669 isn't as heavily faded, but hey, it's a Santa Fe engine and it's my locomotive. And I do what I want with it. So I know the fade's a little heavy, but I got the scorch marks on there that your normal GE would have in the correct places as the prototype. I did the grills and I did everything. All I need to do is apply a little bit of dirt. Here's my Intermountain C45AH. Tier 3 Gevo, same thing. I did mess up the weathering on this one. I did a terrible job. I tried the airbrush, messed it up, screwed it up, and then I just went over it with some weathering powders, and it was just like, okay, yeah, it looks okay now, sort of. It looks kind of crappy, but at the same time, I'm kind of happy with the way it kind of turned out, because now it doesn't make it look as bad. Intermountain Tier 3 ES44 C4 Tier 3 Gevo, same thing. Terribly weathered with acrylic paint. I need to go back over it with some weathering powders to lighten it up and make it look better. But, yeah. And that's an Intermountain, by the way. It's missing a ditch light because Intermountain. Everything, both of these are Intermountains. Everything has gone wrong with these. Handrails are falling off. Handrails are popping out. Everything has gone wrong with these. I've lost a ditch light. I've lost an MU cable. So many things wrong. This is one that I've actually weathered really, really well, along with those two and that one, I guess. Those three I've weathered really well, and this one I have too. This is the Athearn Genesis. Oh, that has... Okay, let me tell you the sound systems. Tsunami Sound, that's an older one, which has a dual mode decoder, so no sound. This one just has an old, not an old, but it has a Digitrax decoder in there, no sound. ESU Loc Sound Select, Loc Sound Select, Tsunami 2. So this is a Tsunami 2 equipped Athearn Genesis BNSF SD75M, which I've never actually gotten the opportunity to see one in person. But I weathered this one up. I don't know if you can tell, but it's got a very light coat of weathering powders because that's how the prototype is. There's really nothing wrong with the prototype. Over here, I even got the grime. It's kind of weird on camera, but the grime. Where's my remote for the light? Let's see. Maybe if I turn it off. No, you won't be able to see it then. Is there a flash button on here? No. Is there? Oh, what? Okay, hold on. What did I do there? I can't use the flashlight. Well, apparently not. So, but I got the grime. It's a little heavier in person. There it goes. A little heavier in person, but it's supposed to be. It's the, there's grime, sort of discoloration / grime on the conductor's fireman's side sunshade, so I did that. I even got the spot where they reach up to adjust it, where their hand would rub. So it's discoloration there. And a little bit of grime on the rear of the cab. The lighting is weird, so... this is my... What is up with the lighting? It's making it look blue on camera, but yet it's white. I have no idea what is up with it, but... this is the Walthers Mainline SD60E, or SD60M. Sorry, I always say SD60E for some reason. SD60M. Got a nice coat of grime and a nice coat of sand, dirt, whatever. And I even put a little bit of rust. I know it's not accurate to the prototype, but I decided why not put a little rust up there. It's not showing up the greatest on camera, but it is rust color, I promise. I put a little bit of rust up there on the cab. And then 2634, which the lighting makes the color look weird. She has not been weathered. This is my new Scale Trains Tier 4 Gevo. It's white. It's a light color. Come on. Off. There it goes. See, it's a white color. White, light gray maybe, or white, whatever you want to call it. And so when the light turns on, it shines and makes it look sort of blue-ish. But yeah, that's all though. Oh, I forgot. Big Boy MTH HO Scale Big Boy 4014 Protosound 3. This one forgot. This one has some sort of ESU Loc Sound basic decoder. This one has a Loc Sound version 5, full throttle, so it's got all the cool features and all that good stuff. So Protosound 3 in this bad boy, and this is a Rivarossi UP 844 FF3. It's missing its handrails right now, and it's got no motor, no lights, none of that stuff. It's not even got sound in it. It's nothing in it. It's just a dummy. It's gonna be pulled behind 4014, and when it runs its own trains, it'll be pushed by something else. So yeah, but that's all the H scale locomotives. But yeah, so that's my idea for a layout. Maybe this live stream will cover that. Thank you. Yeah, that's all my well, actually I have more of collection, but I'm not gonna show that right now. But hopefully I can do this layout. I really want to, because imagine how cool that's gonna be once I get this set up. I can imagine it. It's gonna be so cool, and there's gonna be some what I call out of town crossings that I'm not gonna. Okay, something's burning my eyes. I'm guessing somebody's cutting onions. There's something because my eyes are burning. Probably onions or something. I don't know. But it's gonna be really cool. And like my out of town crossings, like I was saying, it's gonna be literally out of town crossings. They're just gonna be little signs like these. Let's see if I can find an example. Maybe call them industrial crossings. I'm trying to think. Are they called? Maybe they're called industrial. Industrial. No, not Industrial Revolution. Not Industrial Light and Magic. Industrial Railroad crossings. No, crossing bids? What? That's not what I wanted. Something like something like that right there. That's exactly what I want. That's gonna be my out of town crossings. Not industrial. That won't be my industrial crossing. My industrial crossings will be 50s style. 50s style, like they're gonna be the older, like 50s-ish style. They're just like lights and no. Oh, my industrial crossings can be exactly like that too, because we have a ton of those here in Midland. They're just like the smaller. They have smaller arms on them, so I don't know, because I don't even know if they make them. Excuse me. I don't even know if they make those. I know they make the full-size ones, which I've got 4 of these. There's a pack of 2. Come in pack of 2. I've got 4 of these. These are the regular size ones, and so when I get these wired up, these are gonna be cool. They've got actual like mechanical bell castings on there, so that's probably what I'm gonna end up doing, is putting either mechanical bell sounds or e-bell sounds, which don't match. So, but I couldn't find any when I bought these. I couldn't find any with the e-bell castings on top, which is okay. Like, it doesn't matter, does it? Just be cooler to put them as. It'd be cool just to, because there's not very many around that have mechanical bells, so you just put mechanical bells on them. I mean, it's not gonna be like, oh my god, and you know, it's not gonna be like, oh my god, you're doing you're doing a modern layout with mechanical bell crossings. Mechanical bells are a dying breed. Some places you don't find them very often, you know, and when you do find them, then they end up getting replaced with mechanical bell or e-bells because, you know, who knows why? I don't know why. This is one of the current signals that I have, which is a old style signal. I'm very fond of these, actually. They are the B&O. This is made by NJ International, by the way. Some of those crossings are NJ International. So, this is the old B&O style, I believe. B&O style, things. B&O style signals. And I'm very fond of these. I like the style of these. They're the 8 light and 1 sort of searchlight type on top. And so I've got to get some single heads and some searchlights and some of the more, you know, not commonly found stuff, because it's just like, I've got to include, I am a fan of anything that's like not the fallen stuff, fallen flag railroads, fallen, like I like our class 1 railroads now, but the fallen flag railroads like Missouri Pacific and SP and, you know, all that good stuff. All the companies that no longer exist. MKT, for instance. I am a fan of all that sort of stuff that you don't see anymore on the railroad. I'm just basically an old person. I'm an older person in a younger body, basically. Because, I mean, everything that I do, like, I listen to 70s rock, 80s metal, and, well, my music goes from 1968 to 1994. That's as modern as I get, 1994. And then probably most of the movies that I watch are the same. Anywhere from actually 1954 to 19. Well, I watched some of the newer movies, so I can't say for sure, but I know what dates I go all the way back to 1954, which isn't that long, so. Oh, lucky. See, I never get to see stuff like that down here, or whenever I do see stuff like that down here, it's just like, or whenever stuff like that does come down here, it's like, I always miss it. Like when 8104, NS 8104, when I was on vacation a couple weeks ago, NS 8104, the Lehigh Valley Heritage Unit, came right through Midland. And I was like, are you kidding me? It was trailing, it was, I believe, 2nd unit. But still, Jesus Christ, that's a big dog. Ow. 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 That's a big dog. No, thank you. I'll just turn on the computer screen for light. That's a big dog. That's a big dog. I'm not that big of a fan of big dogs. That thing was huge. It's just gone now. Because that lighting is not going to work for me. Okay, it's gone. It's gone. Okay. Never mind. I'll open this back up now. That was a humongous dog. I am not kidding. That thing was... Okay, I'll be out there in a minute. That thing, I'm 5'8". That thing was probably at least that tall. Whew, that thing is huge. Anyways, I'm going to have to end the stream here in a minute because dinner's ready, apparently. But, yeah. I've got to buy me some searchlights and all that kind of stuff. Searchlight signals, single head signals, dwarf signals. Got to get those. Even though, I don't see a lot of them around there in, North Texas and stuff, I do see, I believe somewhere, I have a double head 3/3, a 3/3 double head crossing, or not crossing, signal. So somewhere I have it. I gotta go look for it. Some older it's a BLMA signal of some sort. But, yeah, these are really nice crossings. They're die-cast, too. They're die-cast metal. So are those crossings, these signals, die-cast metal. Everything that I found from NJ International is die-cast metal. And so, this will be, I'm not sure if it's going to be, because I don't know exactly how these work. But this will probably be individually controlled by dispatch, depending on how they work. I don't know how they work. This might be one of the ones that I just have sitting off to the side that just doesn't even operate, because I'm that kind of person who's I'm that kind of person who's just well, if it doesn't work the way I want it to, or if it's too complicated to wire up, then I'm just well, we'll leave it off to the side on a side spur. That's another thing. You can do a little side spur where you have old equipment sitting there. I was thinking about doing a little side spur with an old tore down SD40-2, or I don't think I'd do that to an SD40-2. Tore down GP35 or something like that. An old Burlington Northern unit, or an old Santa Fe unit, or something SP or UP or something like that, or Missouri Pacific or something that's no longer exists, but it's off to the side on a side spur, sort of torn down, rusting, But anyways, let's put this back over here. And everything, by the way, everything is going to be scenic. Everything's going to be ballasted. And you're thinking, no, you're going to ruin all your stuff. That's what foam is for. Put foam on there, put foam on there, put foam on this, put foam all the way around, and then you just, But yeah, I'm going to end this little stream because I got to go eat dinner. So, thank you. I know this is a very long stream, and it's just me rambling about random things for several minutes. So, but see you guys in the next video, and hopefully I can come up with a good layout plan. My eyes are burning again. Try to come up with a good layout plan. Hopefully it'll work out, and see you guys later. Bye.